Honorable Minister, so great to have you here in Washington for the spring meetings and to meet you here in the Digital Zone.
Thank you, Managing Director. It's also a pleasure for me to be here with you. And it's good to be in Washington again.
Yes, It's really, really good. So spring meetings 2024. We met last time in Marrakesh at the annual meetings. And we've had a big agenda for development. I'm so excited to talk to you a bit about your priorities for Zambia going forward. But what do you expect from the spring meetings and why is it important for you to be here?
Yeah, it's important for us to be here. Firstly, because we are able to catch up with friends like yourselves, friends at the IMF, friends from different countries. It's a time to recharge our knowledge base because when you are here, you are interacting with so many colleagues. What is the latest? What's the best way of dealing with this? There's a lot of stuff that we are doing together. And I want to thank the World Bank and the IMF on behalf of Zambia for the support you've been providing to us in the debt restructuring process. And also the financing that you are providing. What am I expecting here? First of all, I think to share with the colleagues in the IMF and the World Bank this situation that we have had now of a drought, unprecedented drought that no one ever thought would happen. To share those challenges with you, and as usual, see how we can work out things together. And lastly, I think we are very clear that debt restructuring and indeed the future of the fight against poverty is about drawing in more and more investments into our country. More and more investment to create jobs, to create business opportunities, to raise more taxes from this more, as you know, many of the people who come here are business people. Others connect with you. So we never get tired of investment promotion. It's one of the things that we do here.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The drought, what we find is that these harsh events come so unexpected, and it's really, really difficult on countries. But Zambia has been in the news quite a lot on debt restructuring. And first of all, congratulations. I know that so much progress has been made just very recently, and also to your leadership on this topic, which must have preoccupied so much of your time as finance and planning minister. But can you unpack a little bit why the debt restructuring has been so important for Zambia at this critical time, and what will it allow for the country to do going forward once you free up space? How important is that, and how will Zambia use that space?
You see, for us, one of those unfortunate countries that quickly overborrowed, and it was not long before it defaulted. Once you've defaulted, you have to find a way of regularizing your position in the international financial system. You must find a formula for getting back to normal situation. What does it mean for us? Without debt restructuring, in 2024, this calendar year, we would have had to look for 4.8 billion US dollars to pay in debt service, which we don't have. If we are to pay that, it means we will not be able to send children to school, we will not be able to pay teachers, we will not be able to buy medicines, all sorts of problems. So debt restructuring for us means instead of paying 4.8 billion US dollars, we'll pay about 1/10 of that in debt servicing. But also, and this is my last point on this particular issue, When we had the stamp in our backs, defaulted, this country is defaulted, this country is defaulted, this country is defaulted. People wishing to make investments into Zambia, when they approach lending institutions, as the lending institutions evaluate those proposals for investment from the private sector, quickly they will say, we cannot put our money in a country that is defaulted. And the result, investment delayed, job creation delayed. We don't want our young people to be wandering off into Europe, crossing the Mediterranean Ocean, looking for jobs. The jobs must be made in Zambia. So debt restructuring means opening up the roads for investment, growth, jobs, and so forth. It also enables us to normalize our relationship with the financial world while still being able to invest into our people.
Speaking of investing in people and freeing up space and thinking about the future and the young people of your country, Zambia and the World Bank have a long-standing partnership over many years, and I know that IDA, the International Development Association, has been an important partner to Zambia. And this is, in fact, a year when we're seeking a replenishment of IDA. And in doing so, we often try to take stock of why has IDA been so important. Can you share with us a bit, as a perhaps last reflections on how has IDA been important to Zambia, and how do you see the importance of this next replenishment for what you're trying to do for your country going forward?
IDA for Zambia and most African countries has been very important. In the many years of economic stagnation, IDA was there to provide investment into human capital, education, health, infrastructure like roads, power, and so forth. We are very grateful for that. Now, we are moving on to the next phase. I was telling some colleagues this morning that the development process in our countries can no longer be based on begging with a bowl, and somebody gives. There may be elements of that, but that row must be going down, 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 down. It's very clear that those who have managed to get rid of poverty successfully have done so because they managed to get their economies to grow. The Taiwan of this world, Mauritius of this world, Singapore, Malaysia, they fought poverty successfully because of growth. So we are focusing our eyes on getting the economy to grow. As the economy grows, we still need the support of IDA because financial resources are limited at the starting point. We still need money to invest into infrastructure that can attract the private sector to come and invest. So I see IDA, apart from investment into human capital, to leverage private sector initiatives so that we get the economies to grow sustainably 10, 15, 20 years, as the Asians have done. I believe if we did that, we'll be on the way to fighting poverty. So we pray that the next replenishment will also be successful with more resources. And for us in Zambia, we pledge that these resources will be invested wisely on human resources, but also will be used to leverage for every dollar of IDA and other donor money coming in, should attract more private sector money so that jobs are created. Poverty is fought.
So nicely put, Honorable Minister. And as we wrap up, I'm reflecting on our conversation, and you've touched on so many important topics that would be really the priority of these spring meetings: growth, is something we're very much keen to see, a recovery in growth, higher growth. The outlook for developing countries is less than 1% on average, and we need higher growth. You've touched on the importance of climate change and the natural disasters, the drought that's currently happening in Zambia, investment in human development, which is the pillar of everything in many ways. Many countries are going through debt restructurings or at risk of debt sustainability issues and need to go through debt restructuring. Talking about these issues has been, I think, very fitting for what we will see for the rest of the week in terms of core priority discussions. And I should not forget infrastructure. I think we'll also have a lot of discussion this week on infrastructure, including the priority of energy access in Africa. So, Honorable Minister, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful
It's been
to
a
be
pleasure
with you.
talking to you.
So good to see you again. Thank you so much. Take care.